We have all learned in high school about the Big Bang, haven't we? As far as our textbook knowledge goes, it is the most noteworthy explosion to have ever occurred in the universe. After all, everything we know of today in terms of physical matter stemmed from the Big Bang. Everything came out of nothing, and that is obviously something that can't be paralleled in terms of importance. But what if we told you that very recently, scientists got wind of one of what is possibly the largest cosmic explosion of all time? Buckle up, because we are about to go on a very explosive ride on a tour of the galaxy clusters around the universe. Galaxy clusters are the largest groups of matter in the universe, and they are basically homes of multiple galaxies like our very own Milky Way. Apart from that, their constitution also includes very hot gas, along with the mysterious dark matter, something that scientists have had difficulty defining the true nature of even to this day. Now, before this particular discovery, proof of massive explosions was obvious from the giant cavities left behind in the galaxy cluster MS0735. The voids in the hot gas of the galaxy cluster were each 600,000 light-years in diameter, and speculation suggests that very possibly, the explosions of the gigantic black rite at the center is what caused them. This fundamentally derives from the belief that black holes leave enormous voids in the hot gas of a galaxy cluster behind when they explode. If you are curious, that is because everything around a black hole is sucked into it with such rapidity, force, and intensity that electromagnetic fields form in their wake, and they probably project immeasurably forceful jets of hot celestial gas. These jets are often charged with high-energy particles that can displace hot air, thus forming cavities in it. Voids, therefore, are proof of cosmic black hole explosions. The two humongous cavities in the MS0735 have a galaxy between them at the center. Overall, the total mass of the displaced matter is probably greater than the total mass of all the stars in our own galaxy. That should give you an idea of how phenomenal the degree of the explosion must have been. However, to put things into perspective, the recent cosmic explosion that we are here to talk about is estimated to be about 5 times greater than the one in the MS0735. This cavity is located in a galaxy cluster called Ophiuchus and is 390 million light-years away from our solar system. The Ophiuchus is filled with extremely hot thin plasma that is constantly emitting X-ray radiation, and the enormous cavity in this galaxy cluster essentially punched a hole right through that. Now, it may sound very accessible when we hear about these occurrences as stories of distant stars and planets, but the layman can't even probably begin to fathom the magnanimity of these cosmic incidents. Initially, it was assumed the plasma itself has been what the void is in, but that theory currently stands null and void. It is certainly difficult to come to any conclusions about the nature of this cavity, but we do know now that with the unparalleled enormity of the cavity in the Ophiuchus galaxy cluster, we do know that an explosion certainly happened. A cosmic explosion was so phenomenal that it left behind the largest void in the galaxy cluster we know of yet. Well, but what is the science behind all of this? So, essentially, what happens is that when a star reaches the end of its lifespan, it burns fiercely bright and it bursts. Sometimes, it forms a neutron star, which, incidentally, happens to be the brightest object in the universe. If not, the supernova becomes a black hole. Now, black holes are incredibly mysterious to our scientists even today, in spite of the extensive research on cosmic bodies that are constantly being undertaken to uncover the deepest mysteries of the universe. All we do know is that while black holes are essentially bodies of extremely high mass that suck all and everything around it into itself, they also tend to explode. These explosions are massive, phenomenal explosions that literally leave behind massive voids on the material of the universe. And we are definitely not trying to be sentimental or melodramatic when we say this. In the case of the galaxy cluster Ophiuchus, this is perhaps exactly what happened. An explosion of such a huge magnitude occurred that it sucked in dust particles and matter from around the black hole into itself, while simultaneously compressing all the material that is being sucked in. The pressure activates an intense electromagnetic field that can fundamentally punch a void right through the plasma or hot air of a galaxy cluster. The cavity that was found in Ophiuchus, about 390 million light-years away from us, is approximately 750,000 light-years wide. That should be enough proof of the fact that the explosion that was followed by the formation of this cavity was simply huge. However, the question has to be asked, how did we even come across this cavity that is so many light years away? Well, in 2016, scientists noticed a huge concave dent in the Ophiuchus galaxy cluster through X-ray imaging and data. This was first noticed in Chandra X-ray imaging by scientist Norbert Werner and his entire team, because they initially had no idea that they might chance upon discovery so life-changing. They were primarily interested in researching a huge galaxy cluster about 390 million light-years away from their own planet. With the help of the Chandra X-ray image, they were just taking detailed pictures of the galaxy cluster when they noticed the dent. What was simply curiosity about the galaxy cluster revealed a cavity about 750,000 light-years in width that could possibly contain up to 14 Milky Ways. Ever since then, countless calculations and speculations have been made to figure out the root cause behind the massive cavity. Recently, more study has been done, and the research on this cosmic cavity has progressed considerably. Initially, the curved edge that the scientists had observed couldn't be confirmed as the edge of a cavity wall. After 4 years of tireless hard work, however, now this can be said for certain that it was indeed the curved edge of a cavity wall that was also incidentally happens to be very highly capable of radioactive emissions. In all of this, the significance of the data gathered from Chandra X Observatory, SSMXM Newton, Murchison Wide Field Array in Australia, and Giant Microwave Radio Telescope in India can simply not be written off less important. After all, a discovery of a scale as large as this is not just an exciting personal achievement for a single scientist. It is essentially a ticket to unlocking a few darker and deeper secrets of the physical universe. And the discovery wasn't that of a random insignificant cosmic explosion either. In space, some celestial body or another is constantly forming, exploding, or shattering into pieces. But this explosion is the largest that mankind has knowledge about. Besides, thanks to advanced X-ray imaging and the help of so many different institutions and observatories across the world, this also happens to be the first cosmic explosion of this scale about which mankind has detailed images or such a clear assumption about a timeline. For a cosmic explosion that can apparently be compared to 20 billion megatons of TMT explosions going off at every thousandth of a second, continuously for 240 million years, as Elaine Johnson has reportedly told BBC, or one that happened 390 million light-years away. It is kind of amazing that we got this far with finding out relevant information about it. And the best part is that we're still at it. Our scientists continue to research this explosion, and we could definitely hope for more news on this front. One thing is very certain though, the fact that we are millions of light-years away from an explosion this massive is certainly reassuring. If you're equally relieved at this, do let me know down in the comments. Oh, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We really wish to see you soon when we're back with our next video.